What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. If you're watching very quickly on the YouTube replay, we're going live in about 2 hours, 7 p.m. Eastern, for the free Amazon class. We're going to show you guys how to source products, everything you need to know to make your first $10,000 in profit, and show you guys kind of just a ton of sourcing game, everything you guys need to know about selling Amazon, all in one place, and it's free. So that is down below on YouTube or in the bio on TikTok. Let me know what questions you guys have as you're trickling on in here, though. I'm live for probably 20 to 30 minutes, just hanging out, answering any questions you guys got. I've been selling on Amazon for close to 6 years now. I've done over $6 million on the platform, just buying and selling basically a bunch of name brand stuff. So doing Amazon arbitrage. Yeah, let me know what questions you guys got on YouTube or on TikTok. Checking both the chats here. What's up, Flores? How you doing, man? Yeah, absolutely. And now is a great time to kind of starting to take things seriously. For those of you guys that have already dipped your toes in, or you're trying to start a side hustle that actually works, need a little bit of extra bonus money in your life, because there's right now there's a bunch of sales for Memorial Days, and that makes basically a ton of websites run coupons, opportunities, that kind of stuff, for stuff to sell for way more on Amazon. And then we've got Mother's Day, Memorial Day, back to school season, and then just kind of as the weather gets warmer, stuff sells faster and faster in certain categories and that kind of stuff. So definitely take advantage of a lot of those opportunities. What's up, amigo? Do you have yeah, there's some auto ungates in my bio, amigo. Yeah, and for all of you guys, make sure you're on the free class up here or down below on YouTube. We'll show you guys how to get ungated in tons of name brands, as well as source products. That's just kind of the fundamental stuff. So yeah, make sure you guys are on there. Yeah, sounds good, man. You're gonna ask for ungates, would any wholesaler be fine? So if you're doing wholesale, be careful who you're buying from, because a lot of wholesalers are not legit. If they're reaching out to you on Instagram and Telegram and all kinds of sketchy stuff, you just gotta make sure if you're doing distribution or buying from wholesalers that they're actually authorized to sell to you, because that's not the case in a lot of brands. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, you can just use 10 units on those. You don't need to do 100 or 300 or whatever. Let's see. Have you gotten buyer messages that claim you haven't? Yeah, so you might get buyer messages of it's usually your competition trying to scare you off the listing and stuff. If you get a message from someone claiming you need to stop selling a product, I'd never ever listen to it, and it has never led to anything. If you get an actual IP complaint or something like that, then you'll appeal it, and probably be careful selling that in the future. But yeah, how long will the class be? Yeah, so 90 plus minutes, 90 minutes to 2 hours long. All the fundamentals and some sourcing methods that are not on YouTube anywhere. So if you want to soak in the knowledge and come ask us questions, interact directly, that kind of stuff, we'll be jamming for quite a while. Just drop the link down below for you. Let's see. Are new sellers finding it harder to make money on Amazon? I mean, it's harder than 2020 when there was a bunch of free money on the shelves, right? You could just go buy chlorine on the you just go buy chlorine and sell it for 10 times as much, that kind of thing. But still plenty of new sellers finding success. Yeah, Courtney, I posted an interview with my friend Carlos. He did about 100K in his first 4 months, and that he started beginning of this year. A couple other examples I posted recently with some new Amazon sellers that are taking off. It's just down to hard work, like it always has been. Let's see. Claim from just ignore it. Like I said, if it's through your buyer messages, they're probably going to just send you an IP complaint if the brand actually wants to kick you off. Is copywriting a marketable skill for businesses? So copywriting is kind of irrelevant now with AI, right? Yeah, I would not be practicing that as your differentiating skill in 2025. Instead of instead of doing that kind of stuff, just start buying and selling name brand stuff, basically. Yeah. And then if you want to launch your own private label using that kind of knowledge of building listings and that kind of stuff later down the line, then I love it. Are tariffs affecting you? Not really, because I just buy and sell stuff that is already in the States. If they stick around and prices on Target.com and Walgreens.com and that kind of stuff are just going to naturally have to go up, then we'll just raise prices on Amazon. So we'll see how it shakes out, but basically just everything's going to get more expensive if it sticks around. Just everything in the whole country, basically. Yeah, just submit your 10 units again, Kathy. You'll be good. How'd you get in to be a seller? It should be pretty easy to get a seller account, Nancy. If they denied you, it could just be because they didn't like something about your documentation, whether they thought you don't actually live at that address you provided or something like that. Yeah, it shouldn't be too tricky to get the seller account. Basically, just need be a sole proprietor or have like a single member LLC, and then just launch it from there. Yeah. New seller yourself, tried going for 30% ROI. Yeah, that's a good baseline, Flores. But especially if you're finding stuff that is super consistent and maybe like in a low return category, you can go a little bit lower than 30% ROI. Plus, if it's source nothing or source some stuff at 20 to 25%, better to like get some experience and make a little bit of money than nothing, right? Yeah, just get some money spent and you'll gradually have better and better products. Let's see. How do you start selling on Amazon? Yeah. So the easiest route is just with like name brand stuff. So like, here's an example of a name brand product that you can sell on Amazon. I found this at like my local retail stores, like a clearance sticker on it. Sells for like $30, bought it for $2. The more scalable way and the way that I like to do it is buying from big websites. So I'll buy the same name brand stuff, but I'll buy it from a bigger website like Walgreens, Vitacost, Kohl's, Target, all that kind of stuff, right? Usually using like some kind of coupon discount, that kind of thing to create a little bit of margin on that product. And then I'll ship that into Amazon. Yeah, as far as like software you need, SellerAmp is how you source your products. And then Boxem, Boxem, is how you like ship the products into Amazon and track your profit and all that kind of stuff. And then from there, it's just getting practice in, basically. Absolutely. I'm not sure yet, Flores. We're working on it. Let's see. Been trying to get Ungated. Yeah, so just buy 10 units from an online source that has your address and information on it, and you'll be good to go. That's all we do. I haven't done like the 100 plus. They've been asking for probably 20 plus times 10 units of work. Let's see. What's the physical work here? Packing and shipping. Yeah, Chase. So your job as an Amazon seller is to find stuff like this, or from wholesalers, or from big websites that is way cheaper on that source than it is on Amazon, right? Usually the stuff that I buy, I'm buying for about half of what I want to sell it for on Amazon. You'll ship it to you, or get it shipped to a prep center, which is like a third-party company you can work with. You'll use Boxem to ship those products to Amazon, and then as each item sells, they'll ship it to the customer for you. So your job is to get really good at buying cheap stuff, basically. Whether that is using a bunch of coupons from websites, calling wholesalers, going to local retail stores. My favorite is just buying from big websites and kind of figuring out what stuff I can buy over and over and over again. But there's a lot of different ways to do it. Let's see. Could you repurpose something and market it? Yeah, you could. That'd be like private label, Chase. You can definitely do that. But if it's like the first thing you've ever sold on Amazon, it's a little bit tricky to like launch a brand, just because you're learning how to not only sell on Amazon and make sales and get your money back and that kind of stuff, but you're also learning how to like buy ads and get a trademark and that kind of stuff. So start with the low hanging fruit of just selling name brand stuff. Yeah. And for all of you guys that have hopped in recently, we're doing a free class at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. So for you guys on TikTok, that's up in my bio. It'll be about 2-ish hours long. Show you how to get Ungated to sell big brands, source products. And for some of you guys that have seen some of the YouTube videos, we go into more detail and show you guys some sourcing methods that aren't on YouTube anywhere. Yeah, so it's just some really good sourcing game, kind of all in one place. So I'll see you guys tonight at 7 if you're serious about scaling on Amazon, basically. How many hours a week do you work? So on my Amazon business, not too much. 30 minutes to an hour a day at tops, because I spent a lot of time learning the business and then training people how to run it for me, right? So Prep Center shipped the stuff for me. I trained virtual assistants to source the items for me. But in the early days, I worked a lot, right? So you just got to be willing to, you're working a lot in the early days so that you can work not as much later on, because you want to build a business, right? That's the whole point. If you're always working a ton of hours every day, then you just kind of you're self-employed. You don't have a business, basically. So just make sure as you guys are growing, just turn it into a real business. What's the least money you think is fine to start with? Like if you have like $1,000 or so, you're good to go. I had like $1,500 when I started selling on Amazon, and just kind of reinvest as much as possible. How long is your average listing to sale period? Yeah, so well, usually when you buy a product, if you FBM it, you'll be able to start selling that item within like a week. If you are using FBA, you'll start making sales on that product probably 2 to 4 weeks later. So that's why like FBM shipping direct to customer can be a really good idea when you're new, so that you can kind of test the concept and make sure that it actually works for you, and then you can buy way deeper via FBA. Yeah. Possible to start with tariffs. Yeah, so I buy like name brand stuff that's already in the country. I know it's messing with like private label sellers who buy from China, but I just buy name brand stuff that's already in the U.S. And if that starts affecting name brand prices, then we'll just raise our prices on Amazon, and everything will kind of equal out. Let's see. You don't ship all that by hand? No, Chase. So for the most, actually, I haven't seen any of my products physically for a couple years at this point. So when I buy 95% of my stuff from big websites. So I'll place an order at Kohl's.com, for example. I'll ship it to a prep center, and I pay them per unit to ship it to Amazon for me. Yeah, and the hard part of selling on Amazon is just learning how to get really good at buying stuff as cheaply as possible. There's not really a ton of other complication to it besides getting really good at just finding the deal, basically. Whether that's using coupons, buying from retail stores, or working with wholesalers, that kind of thing. What supplies do you need for FBM? Yeah, just like a printer, boxes, some polybag, shipping labels. You don't need to overthink that too much. You can kind of figure that out as you go, to be honest. Absolutely. You'd love to learn how to do this. Several customers to do this. Oh, nice, Brandon. Yeah. What do you sell, man? Yeah. For all of you guys that are kind of curious about how to get started and like start sourcing your first products, make sure you're on the free class tonight. So that's up in my bio on TikTok, and then in the description on YouTube, we'll show you guys how to source products and tons of different sauce. Kind of show you the 0 to 10K a month guide, basically. We're breaking that down tonight at 7 Eastern. Let's see. It's just live only, Mev. Yeah. Having difficulty getting ungated as a new user. Yeah. So you just buy 10 units from any legit retail store, and then submit that to Amazon, basically. Yeah. You'll be good to go after that. Let's see. What's up, Brooke? Is there a way to go versus creating a product from China? Yeah, Brooke. So I just buy stuff that's already in the US. Yeah. Now a bunch of the stuff that I've been buying has been stockpiled. So if nothing changes, then the stuff I'm buying probably gets more expensive, and then everyone's prices everywhere goes up. I'm still gonna see how that all shakes out, but yeah, it hasn't really affected us at all so far. Just because the stuff we buy is already in the U.S. Let's see. You own a pool company, seller. Your customers sell on Amazon, netting about 100K a year. Yeah, that's awesome, Brandon. Yeah, so you definitely have a good opportunity there, because if you own like a pool company, you have kind of limited access to probably buying some like pool supplies in bulk that sell really well on Amazon. I would honestly start there if I were you. It's a big competitive advantage. How much does it cost to start Amazon? So you need like $1,000 at least to start Amazon, because you're going to use Keepa and SellerAmp for sourcing. It's about $40 a month, and then you're going to use Boxum, a software for like listing your products and tracking your profit and kind of the whole back end of your business. And then you need the rest of your money to actually be able to afford inventory and grow your business after that. But just kind of keep it simple with the software. Keepa, SellerAmp, and Boxum is all you need. Any tips on sourcing new brands? Yeah, definitely good to diversify into some new brands now then. So the easiest way to break into some new brands, and I was literally doing this earlier today, go to a category that you're not super familiar with, or if you've never sold anything, you can do this as well. Whether that's clothing, like I was doing this earlier with like automotive products and like stuff I haven't really looked into too much. I'll just go to a product that I know has like a few third-party sellers on it, not Amazon, not the brand, that kind of thing, and then see what brands those sellers are also carrying. So that's where I use SellerAmp. I'll like look at the products that everyone on a certain listing is selling, and it shows me, hey, some Volvo might be a good brand to sell, and here's like this random oil filter brand and that kind of thing. Or if you've never sold clothing, you can go to like auto ungate brands like Athletic Works or Stafford, that kind of thing. And those are brands that are automatically ungated for anyone. And then you just look and see what the other sellers are already having success with on that listing. That's kind of the bare basics of sourcing, though, because that'll break you into a bunch of new brands and categories and that kind of thing. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just got to see what's already working for other people, basically. Absolutely. Can you start with $2,000? Yeah, Heather, that's more than I had to start with for sure. Boxums for FBM sellers, boxums for any Amazon sellers. Yeah. So, if you make FBA shipments, if you list products FBM, if you want to know how much money your business is making, if you want to see like by item, what's your most profitable, what's your least profitable, that kind of stuff. Yeah, you kind of just need Boxum if you want to know your numbers, basically. Let's see. You're confused on how to barcode everything. Yeah. I like the username Bingo Queen. Yeah. So whenever you're shipping something in, you just get a little, you get a label like this. You'll print these out. Like Boxum helps you print these labels. You take this label and then you put it over the UPC barcode on your product. That way, when it scans at an Amazon, they know, hey, this is Bingo's product, basically, right? Then when it sells, they scan that barcode and you get paid for the product. You can also pay Amazon. I think it's 50 cents per unit now, 55 cents a unit now to ship in things with no barcodes. It just takes longer to get it checked in and start making sales because they have to spend some time labeling it for you. So whatever makes more sense for you. I've done that a couple times when I just needed to free up time to source some more products. Absolutely. Yeah, I shoot for about 10% net after I pay my team and software and all that kind of stuff from the top line revenue. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So let me know what other questions you guys got here. If you're on YouTube or TikTok here. What time's the live tonight? Yeah. So the free class will be at 7 p.m. Eastern. Bingo. Yeah. So for all of you guys on YouTube, it's down below. If you're on TikTok, up here, and it's completely free. So we'll show you how to source products, get ungated, all that kind of stuff. And it is $0. So come through, just kind of compile everything you guys need to know all in one place, basically. Let's see. Can you call to help? So I don't do any like one-on-one or anything like that. Yeah, you can learn pretty much all the basics from just diving in on free content on YouTube, from the free class tonight, that kind of thing. And then you can ship me a DM if you have any specific questions. Let's see. Yeah, Margaret. So Boxum is for shipments and analytics and that kind of stuff, and SellerAmp is how you like source products. So they work hand in hand. Yeah, what's up, Kendrick? Absolutely. Yeah. So let me know what the questions you guys got here. You lost buy box on your private label. Interesting. They must have. Did you sell it on a different marketplace and lower your price on that marketplace? That's usually the only times I've seen that. What time tonight? Yeah. So 7 p.m. Eastern for the free class. You can grab your invite up in my bio for free. Let's see. Upload an invoice to Amazon. Doesn't it get accepted? Yeah. So usually I'll have to submit like 5 or 6 times. That's just kind of the nature of it. Amazon's making sure that there's no fake goods, just kind of keeping it all legit on Amazon. Because I know like a few years ago there was a bunch of fake stuff on the like some clothing listings basically, and it was just at an impossible price that you couldn't compete with unless you had like literally bought counterfeit items. So since then, Amazon's been doing a lot better job at keeping fake sellers off the platform, which means you just have to submit docs more often now. Let's see. If the buy box is 70% suppressed, is it a bad buy? So not necessarily, because if it has no buy box, generally it just means that Amazon thinks the price is too high compared to like other websites, which usually means there's profit to be made. Just make sure that you see that item sells when there's no buy box. So like on SellerAmp or on Keepa, you'll see that the sales rank line is dropping, but there's no buy box basically. So just kind of make sure that those two things are both true. Let's see. And I don't do affiliate marketing, Tyler. So I just buy and sell name brand stuff, right? That way you can kind of control how fast you're actually growing. You know, it's simple. Buy a big pile of stuff from a website, from a wholesaler, from your local retail store, send it all into Amazon and get paid when it sells basically. Let's see. How do you get ungated? Yeah, so just buy 10 units from any major retail website. So like if you want to sell grocery on Amazon, for example, you just get 10 units of like teas or whatever you want, and then submit that invoice to Amazon, and then just submit that until you get nicely approved there. Let's see. Do you need an LLC to get started? You heard it was difficult to update. You don't need an LLC to get started. If you want to change it later, Tito, you just go through the tax. It's called the tax interview settings on Seller Central, and you'll be good to go to kind of switch that up. The only thing is, before you guys change any like backend information on your seller account, whether that's like bank account information, company, organization, that kind of thing, just open a case with Amazon ahead of time, just because sometimes they'll, they just want to make sure you're not getting hacked or something like that and change your bank account information, your company structure, that kind of thing. Just tell them ahead of time, basically. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. What software do you need? Yeah, so Keepa and SellerAmp for sourcing products, and then Boxum for listing, tracking profit, kind of the whole back end management of your business, restocking your items, all that good stuff. Yeah, and then the rest of your startup budget should just be for spending some money on products, basically. And for those of you guys that want to like kind of get hands-on practice, like I know I'm definitely a hands-on learner, that kind of thing. You can go hit like your local retail store, for example. Like I got this at Marshall's. You just start scanning the barcodes with SellerAmp, and it'll show you what it sells for on Amazon. So like next time you go grocery shopping, start scanning some of the items, and it just kind of, you start to see like how the stats look, how fast things sell on Amazon, what products are expensive and what products aren't. Just like an easy kind of hands-on way to learn. That's low effort, basically. What's up, David? Quick question. Yeah, let me know what your question is there, David. What's up, man? Absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, so it's not affiliate marketing. Yeah, so it's buying and selling stuff that people already buy, basically. Let's see. Can Home Depot boxes be used for optimized shipping? Yeah, you can do whatever, David. You could ship like, theoretically, I guess you could ship like 1 by 1, like tiny 1 cubic inch boxes. If they're all identical, then you'll get the optimized splits. Absolutely. How do you know if the products from Marshalls are easily ungated? So you can just check that while you're at the store. So just scan it with the Amazon Seller app or SellerAmp, and it'll show you if your store is ungated or not, and then you can see if you can get auto approved. For the big thing to remember, like for those of you guys that are kind of new to the game, making that first like $10,000 in sales is the hardest part, because you have to learn how to ship into Amazon. You have to learn what products are good. You have to learn what your account can actually sell. And then after you break that, it's a process of just buying the things that already worked for you. You're going to get a lot more auto ungates. It's just, the game is going to get a lot simpler, right? So just keep in mind that your hourly will not be good for the first like month, right? I probably made like $5 an hour or something, but because we stuck it out now, it's at least a few $100 an hour that I'm working on my Amazon business. What's your thought on Hazmat? So you can definitely do Hazmat. Just make sure you get on the wait list. So there's a wait list on Seller Central for like dangerous goods / Hazmat program. And then you'll buy your shipping outside of Amazon. That's kind of the big difference, is you'll still make that shipment on Boxum and everything like that. But when you go to buy the label, you can't use Amazon partnered rates. So you'll use like Pirate Ship is usually what I ship Hazmat stuff through, Kendrick. Yeah. I would be careful for sure, for sure, Jose. I think there's a lot better value out there, but whatever you can see yourself learning from. I would just say start with the free courses on start with the free course on my channel first, Jose, and then like come to the free class tonight as well. I'll kind of show you probably everything that's in there, to be honest. Let's see, what's the difference between an affiliate and seller? So I mean, affiliate, you're just promoting other people's products, right? When you're a seller, you can more directly control your growth, because growth is just, hey, I sold 10 units of this last month. All right, let me sell 100 now. Let me buy a whole bunch more, that kind of thing. But obviously affiliate has no overhead, so do whatever works for you. But I like being a seller for sure. Let's see. What would you recommend on good building tips for the first month? Yeah, Andres. Yeah. So the main thing, especially early on, is just not getting discouraged. Couple of really easy ways to do that is to source on the right way. So you're not just randomly looking through websites and randomly open up wholesaler price pages and that kind of thing. You're going directly to Amazon sellers who are already successfully selling on the platform, and you're seeing what they're selling. And then based on those ideas, what's cheap today? Where are coupons? Where's the discount opportunity, basically? And the other easy way to kind of stick around for the long run is to make a friend or two that also sells on Amazon. Because even if your friends and family are supportive, they probably still look at you like you're an alien if you're going and buying 300 boxes of diapers and 200 like t-shirts and that kind of stuff, right? So you just need like a person or two to kind of talk with. That was really big for me. as soon as I started just kind of making content, sharing what I do, kind of attracted other serious people to me and that kind of thing. Do you do wholesale or OA? Yeah, like 95% OA, spooky. Yeah, just buying from big websites basically. An example, yeah. Here's a quick example. Right, I was showing this a second ago, but I bought this on clearance for $2. It sells for like 25 to 30 bucks on Amazon. And then as far as OA goes, so OA is online arbitrage. So buying from a website, flipping it on Amazon. Like earlier today, I found like some supplements that were selling for 18 bucks at VitaCost, and they sold for like 40 something on Amazon. So there's profit on a bunch of different websites. Absolutely. Can you give you a product to sell on Amazon? So that wouldn't really benefit you because you wouldn't know how to repeat that. Yeah. So what you want to do is just learn how to source those products. So there's literally hundreds of hours of content on my YouTube channel. And then we're also hosting a free class tonight to show you how to source more winning products, basically. Yeah. So for all you guys on TikTok, the free class is up in my bio. We'll show you how to source products, get ungated, make your first 10,000 bucks in profit or so. Just kind of all in one place. So I would make sure you're on that if you're kind of serious about getting after it. Do you post them or does Amazon? No, there's no dumb questions here. No dumb questions here. Yeah. So like if I want to sell this on Amazon, I find the ASIN on Amazon. So every product on Amazon, basically like think like a UPC barcode, but specifically for Amazon. I take that ASIN and I put it into Boxum. Boxum lists the product on Amazon for me and then makes it simple to ship it into Amazon as well. Gets to Amazon, start selling to customers, and then I'm going to try to restock the product if I can, or just keep raising prices until it's not selling and find like the highest possible price point that people actually want to pay for it. Let's see. Do you know why you're not seeing the pie chart? It's usually probably in your settings. Yeah. So on SellerAmp, you can toggle on or off all the different panels. So you probably have the buy box panel off. Yeah, just go into your settings basically. How do you keep up with prices to win the buy box? You can use like a repricer software, Caleb, if you have like several products. Otherwise, just kind of pop in there and move prices around manually. The big thing to remember is you don't have to be the cheapest seller on a listing to make the most sales or even sales in general. A lot of times the sales will go to the best combination of like shipping speed, price, how many units you have in stock. There's kind of a big equation behind it. So a lot of times I'll make a lot of sales above the lowest price on the listing. So it's always good to test that, listing $1 or $2 above where it's selling now and see if you can make sales more profitably than normal. How'd you get into it? Yeah, so I started selling like used books from my dorm room in college. And then that led into meeting other people who sold on Amazon, and they were like, hey, you can sell shoes and you can sell all kinds of toys and vitamins and that kind of stuff. And so then I got into the world of online arbitrage, and that was just a lot more scalable because I started just going out individually to thrift stores and buying one book at a time. But once I figured out you could buy 100 of something at a time from a website and flip it all on Amazon, that's where things kind of got a lot simpler basically. Once you order the product, you rebox it before you send it back out. More or less, yeah. So you'll get a whole bunch of stuff into your bedroom, living room, wherever you're shipping stuff out of. Throw it down into boxes. You'll enter into Boxum what you're actually shipping, so that it kind of communicates with Amazon what's in each box. Kind of gives you the best shipping rates, that kind of thing. And then once it gets there, you're good to go. But you have to label the items, or at least you have to tell Amazon what's in each box that you're sending, and then you can pay them to label the items for you, but they have to know what you're sending basically. Let's see. Yeah, just use 10 units, Kendrick, if it's asking you for a crazy amount. It still works. Do you mainly do wholesale? So I mainly do online arbitrage. I've done a little bit of wholesale, but I just enjoy the process of buying stuff from big websites and kind of figuring out how to scale that. There's a million different ways to make money on Amazon. So if you like wholesale, then go for it. If you like private label, then go for it. That kind of thing. I found a lot of success just kind of taking the simple route, buying stuff that already sells from big websites, basically. Yeah, Diego. Yeah, 2.5 million on doing online arbitrage. Yeah, I know people who are doing like 30 to 40 million doing online arbitrage. So you can scale whatever you want. I'm not sure how they're doing 30 to 40 million, but I know I could definitely do more than 2.5. It's just kind of down to how many products can you find, how good can you get at buying at finding lots of different things to restock consistently, that kind of thing. Does the company ship for you to Amazon? Yeah, so you'll ship it to yourself or to a prep center. You can pay them like per unit. You'll plug all those items into Boxum, and then that makes it simpler to get those products checked in at Amazon, basically. Let's see. Was scanning books profitable? For sure, but it wasn't super scalable. Yeah, so I sold like $100,000 worth of used books in the year I started Amazon. But every single one of those, I was like going to thrift stores after class, scanning the back of the book, seeing what was profitable, that kind of thing. And that was about $30,000 to $35,000 in profit. And then that's when I figured out, oh, it's a lot easier to buy 100 of something at a time and not have to source 3,000 different products, right? It's 50, it's 100, it's 200 different items that you can buy a whole bunch of. But yeah, like I said, there's a ton of different ways to make some money online. It's whatever you can see yourself enjoying. That's the big thing. Like, just pick something you can enjoy doing every single day. If you hate what you're doing, even if it's theoretically the better business model, it's not going to be for you. You're not going to make more money with that. Let's see. You got an IP complaint with a product. Let's see. Yeah. So you can't really like flag it for your account. You just kind of keep that in mind. YTP. But yeah, should be able to get that appealed as well. What's the best items to look for in the sale doing retail arbitrage? I like for retail arbitrage, I like beauty, toys, and grocery items. And then online, I like vitamins, clothes, and makeup, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Bingo. Yeah. I think you said your name is Desiree. Yeah. Let's see. How many products do you have? Usually a few hundred, because my business, I like to kind of hit as many base hits as possible. That's how I like to look at it. So I'll buy 20 of this, 30 of this, 100 of this, and so on. So that I'm not so reliant on one particular product, just kind of a big machine of a ton of winning products, basically. That way it doesn't really matter if something, price drops on my best item, something like that. There's a ton of different things to fall back on. Let's see. Yeah, I don't do too much wholesale for those of you guys asking wholesale questions. Yeah, I just buy from big major retail websites, basically. How much to get started? At least $1,000, Natasha. Yeah, because you need SellerAmp, Keepa, and Boxum, and then the rest you just spend on inventory. And those 3 tools will be like the backbone for your business, basically. Let's see. Hit 10K last month for the first time. That's what's up, man. Good work. Good work. I knew you're bound for that 10K month here soon. You'll be tossing up 50 or 100K in December then at this rate. I like it. Let's see. Yeah, I don't do any mentorship or anything like that. Let's see. Yeah, we have the FBA Roadmap if you want a paid resource, but I don't do any like crazy expensive one-on-ones or anything like that. What apps? Boxum, SellerAmp, and Keepa. That's what it's called. Let's see. Yeah, sweet. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and wrap up here. I'll see you guys in about an hour and a half for the free class. So that'll start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Grab your invite link down below on YouTube or on TikTok. It's up here. 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll be about an hour and a half to 2 hours long. We'll show you the entire A to Z process of sourcing products, getting ungated, and some sourcing methods that are not on YouTube anywhere. So make sure you guys are registered for that. And I will see you guys here in a little